Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I have got exciting molds to use in today's video. Now, I bought these months ago and I have been itching to use them. These are incredible nutcracker molds. I bought them myself from Jemo Melo over on Instagram. I'm not affiliated with Jemo Melo, but I will leave the details down below. Some of you will remember I've had molds from Jemo Melo in the past, including those incredible Halloween molds as well. Now, inspired by my recent video that I did for Resin to show you the Christmas kit, I kind of got excited about that, and it, like I said in the video, it made me very nostalgic, and there are so many ways to use these molds from Jemo Melo, of course, multiple ways, but I thought I would play again with the Resin. Not only does it flow like water, so I figured it would get down into all of the nooks and crannies of these beautiful nutcracker molds. If I tried it with Jesmonite is so much thicker, and I am terrible with Jesmonite and detailed molds like this, so I figured I would have another play with the Resin. Now, of course, you could use PU resin or epoxy resin or anything you fancy. You could use mica powder, dust the molds with mica, pour your resin in the back. There are multiple ways to use these molds. Now, the molds are part matte and part shiny, so if you are using resin you will have matte areas, whereas if you use an eco pour, the whole thing will just be matte, and then you can just have fun painting it. Once I'd given them quite a shimmy and a shake, spoiler alert, I didn't quite get all the air bubbles out, but once I've given them a shimmy and a shake, it is just filling them up to the top to make them as chunky as possible. Now, what am I going to do with these? What could we use them for? Jemo Melo really specialise in wax melt molds. But because they are, of course, all silicone, we can still use them for our ecos and for our epoxy resins. So these themselves, I personally will be using them for some home decor. I've got a little space where I want to put them. But of course, they would make perfect tree decorations, or serviette holders, or, you know, Christmas table nameplate settings. I thought that would be super cute. You could hand write your guests or your family member, you could hand write their name on there. That would be so adorable. Now, this is 24 hours later and it was time to, I guess, effectively colour them in. I never thought I'd be a colouring in channel, but here we are. I decided to use a combination of acrylic pens, the paint that I got with the kit that you would have seen, but also I'm going to use some of the isopropyl alcohol with gold powder in it to get into all of the nooks and crannies. Now, how you paint yours, of course, is up to you. You can leave them completely white. I kind of like them white. They've got this beautiful, calming simplicity about them, and I really, really love that. I did decide to use my acrylic paint markers. Now, any acrylic paint marker will do. This is the only section of the video I felt like I needed to speed up because boy oh boy did I take my time. I was trying to be as neat as possible and really work in those typical nutcracker colours, so the green, the blue, the red, and really keep it with that. The paint that came with the Resin kit is actually really, really thick. If you saw that video, I mentioned in the video how I was quite surprised at just how thick it was, but I've really enjoyed using it and it went on like a dream. Now, when I compare it to the acrylic paints that are sitting in my paint drawer, they're all a lot thinner. So I figured I would use the blue paint from the Resin kit. So this video is not sponsored by Resin, but I did get those for a previous video. It is a beautiful blue and it worked really, really well. I think I would have preferred a navy. Then it was time. Then it was time to get messy is basically what I'm saying. I used the floating pigment powder from Just For You online that I bought years ago. After I coloured in the boots with black acrylic pen, it was time to make a total mess. Now, I've added this in with some isopropyl alcohol, a dash of powder and isopropyl alcohol. My thought process was that it's a bit tricky getting in those buttons with my gold pen. I figured if I poured in some of the isopropyl alcohol and the gold powder, that would get them to where I want them to be. But boy oh boy, did this bottle have other ideas. It was literally pouring out of there. So whilst it became quite messy, it was really easy to actually clean up, and you can already see it working its way into the channels. That's what I wanted. These molds are so detailed. They have a multitude of really tiny channels working their way all the way around the pieces, and that is what I wanted to be gold. And they're so tiny, guys. How was I going to do it with pen or even a paintbrush? There's no way I've got patience for that. So I figured this technique would work beautifully, and it did. You can see it traveling around and doing its thing. The alcohol evaporates, leaving just the gold powder behind, and it worked a dream. Now, whilst this might look like a 12-year-old's colouring in, let's not kid ourselves. It's not the neatest job when it comes to colouring in. Oh my gosh, was it fun. Again, for me, this was very much, it gave me the same sort of relaxation feeling that I get when I do clay. It was just relaxing. You know, I'm sitting here with my cup of tea and my radio is playing. I've got snacks. There's nothing toxic going on here. I can literally just chill, relax, and colour these in. Now, I did, if you see between the legs, I did try a purple background. This was the acrylic paint marker. It wasn't enough for me. I wanted my nutcracker to pop, like we all want our nutcrackers to pop. So I went back with the black pen. I figured this would really give me some serious definition and help my little nutcracker to stand out. Again, it was super long, and that is why I haven't shown you every single second of the video, but this is what we're looking like. I actually adore him. He is the cutest little thing ever, and again, I think these would look beautiful on the tree. If I was putting them on my tree, I would probably do them in resin because it's a lot lighter than Eco Pour. Now, with my other nutcracker, he had a lot more recessed space, so a lot more negative recessed design on the second nutcracker. And then I thought, oh my gosh, this gold and alcohol is going to work a dream in all of these spaces, apart from the mess I made. I figured I would go down the white and gold route. This colour scheme for Christmas is just, it's elegant, it's simplistic. My method might not be that elegant. But the alcohol itself worked a dream. You can see it working its way down, just flowing in to all of those minute channels. And that was all I did for the second guy. And I love him. I don't know which one I prefer. I probably won't be sealing these just because they won't get much wear and tear. They will literally be decorative pieces. And just, yeah, sitting in my kitchen as decorative Christmas items. But here you see me trying to do the buttons. Again, I figured it wipes off so easily. It gets to the point where my brain is like, Claire, just chuck it in. Chuck it in. Throw it in. Make a mess. Clean it up afterwards. Because at least then my buttons are now gold. This is what they are looking like. my coloured in nutcracker is a little... He's a little bit shabby. Let's not pretend he isn't. However, the molds themselves are absolutely divine. I want to do this again next year, but use resin. Now, this is my little hot chocolate corner in my kitchen, and this is where I wanted them to go. I actually would have loved to have made so many more and just have them all kind of dotted around in all different colorways. I wanted a green one as well. A green and gold nutcracker would have been beautiful. But let me know your thoughts. I've really enjoyed using these molds. Again, I'm not affiliated with Jemo Melo molds, so it's not a paid promotion, but I will link Jemo Melo down below. The mold choices are unbelievable. I've said this before when I worked with Jemo Melo. I actually did work with Jemo Melo at Halloween. But the mold choices are next level, elite, unreal. So many to choose from. including incredible Christmas ones. Might be a bit late now, we are 5 days from Christmas, but check it out. She's got literally molds for every single season of the year. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!